Hey, I'm out in the barn. I've been looking at some pieces and parts, and I was actually getting the old jointer worked on a little bit earlier. I want to start the old guitar build soon. The issue is it's getting cold out here in the barn, and I'm going to have to get the old heat going here soon. But I have, let me switch you around here. Here's what we're working with. So this is, of course, my template. It's got some water damage because the roof of the barn was leaking, which in turn leaked through the ceiling of the haymow down onto my router table, which is, oh boy, where all my templates were sitting. So all my well, not all my templates, some of my templates got wet. Now this here is a piece of sassafras from Amish country. I was at a buddy's place in down near Gambier, and before I left town, I went around and saw a couple Amish places and saw a guy working his mill and had a bunch of offcuts. So he let me rifle through the pile and found something that was, I think this piece is about 1 3/4 inch thickness. This one's 1 5/8 inch maybe thickness. And because I'm putting a maple top on it, I don't need necessarily full thickness. The piece of ash that I thought I might use, it is full 1 3/4 inch, and so I didn't want to deal with it. But then as I was looking at this, I noticed these holes. Now, I don't know where exactly those are going to end up. I was kind of laying my template out, and I think, what is it? It'll be the back. It'll be the top, about where the arm rest is on the corner, is going to be kind of passing through this area. So I may end up having a hole to fill on the outside edge. I'm not very concerned about it, to be honest with you. I don't really care. But I just didn't want to use the ash for this if I didn't have to. So I am going to get this ready to joint up. This is a piece of maple I have from, I got this piece in Amish country, and I have a couple of fretboards. I made one neck and 3 fretboards, maybe, I think, from it. So this is one of the fretboard pieces. And so I will use that on this build. And this is the maple top that is a one piece that a buddy of mine, I built a guitar for him. This is actually, oh, what a nightmare. This was a solid 4/4 piece maple that I needed to use for the top. So and of course I only needed 1/4 inch. So I ran it on my table saw all the way around, as you can see, and then hand sawed through the center. So that gave me the top that I used for his build, and now I've got, a way too thick piece for a top, but also not good enough to be able to resaw again. So there's just gonna be a bunch of wasted wood chips, maple wood chips out of this one. But anyway, that'll be the top on the sassafras body. This is the old Delta 4-inch joiner that I was playing around with earlier. Apparently, I thought my motor was dying on me, but apparently it's not the motor. It's the fact that this belt is so crispy and old that it was too tight, basically. And so the motor could not overcome both the spinning of the jointer and the folding of the belt. Bizarre, I know. But it works now. I got it all cleaned up. So it's not perfect, but it works. Had to put some spacers up underneath it to get the motor lifted a little higher to loosen up the belt so that it would actually spin. This does not take much off in one pass, so this might take a while. Obviously, it's sticking out quite heavily here. Yeah, we'll see. We're getting there. It's starting to. Yeah, we're getting close. I'll tell you what, the sassafras, it smells fantastic. Couple more passes, maybe. All right, let's try the other. Yep, similar to the other piece. It's actually cutting better than I thought it would, to be honest with you. Yeah, we got a little bit of a curve there. Okay, let me check. Let me check these together. Maybe another pass on each. Another pass on each. Oh. Man, it's crazy how good that smells. Makes me want a root beer. And I think with the way this grain is, even though obviously these are not two equally sized pieces, I think the way the grain looks, it will be difficult to see the line. Now, obviously on the end, you'll see the line. It's been a while since I used it. All right, get a good amount on there, slather that around. I will glue and clamp this up out here in the garage, but this will go back in the house because it is just too cold and I'm not going to run the heat just to have a glue up going out here. Eventually, I'll probably have to run the heat when I'm out here doing some other stuff. But until then, I'm just okay out here for a little bit at a time. All right, plenty of glue. I'm going to have, oh boy, there's going to be a lot of squeeze out. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be a mess. I don't have any rags with me. Piece of plywood up here. That might. Something like that, I guess. Oh boy, yeah. I think I'm gonna have to try to take a little bit off of this. Oh, great! Now I got some dirt in there. Perfect. think I hadn't done this before. Especially now that I'm wiping the glue on the surface that I'm going to be laying the piece on. Oh, I tell you. I got glue everywhere. Alright, I believe this is the way I wanted it. Oh, I got glue all over my glue up table. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's just put you together here. Let's just get something happening here. There. Oh, no, that's not good. My thin one is sticking up higher than the thicker one, which means I need to slide this down. Okay, let's try that again. I think it must. Well, see, I don't want it sticking out the bottom either. Glue up can be kind of a pain sometimes, as you can see. All right, that might be better. All right, now I think I just need to be paying closer attention to how they're lined up when I squeeze them together. Okay, that seems a little better. Okay. Let's see here. Oh. All right, we're looking good, I believe. Yep, settled in. Yep, so there you have it. There's the old glue up. Get these tightened up. All right, now I'll let her probably sit overnight. It's a little bit chilly today. Sat overnight. I guess I could hang these back up. Maybe. All right, so that's the old blank. It is not quite as bad as I thought it might be. A little bit of a swell right here. A little bit of an indent here, sticking up a little proud there where that knot is. I'm hoping I got about close to 1.5 inches of total thickness by the time it gets planed down. I mean, if not, I don't know that it's that big of a deal, but I guess we'll see. I'm anxious to see what it smells like as I start working the old sassafras. Is definitely, it was smelling pretty good. It's going to be kind of strange to have a seam off center, but I'm thinking about doing a kind of I don't know, I'm thinking maybe a root beer maple syrup burst, where the outside edge is pretty dark, blackish brown, and then kind of fade to more of that root beer maple syrup color, with that flame maple top and the sassafras back. It might be cool. It might not. We'll see. But yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking about. All right, I'll move you around when I get over to the old planer here. Well, I had to take off a whisker off of each side so I could fit it in the planer, but it should fit now. So we're good. Let me drop this down to Oh, we'll start. I don't like taking much off in each pass, so I'm going to take it to, what is that? Inch and 13, 16 maybe. Ish. Maybe a hair less. Okay. Dust collector. Oh. No. All right, so we finally got a cut all the way across. So we're pretty good there. I changed my mind. I'm going to put the lower horn in this section because I figure lower horn, if I got a hole in the edge, that'll be better filling that than on the upper bow up here. So this has got to get down to about 1.5 inches, and then we'll be good thickness-wise with 1/4 inch top. I mean, it's not like it's that critical, but I will say these shavings, wowzers. It is root beer all the way. So too bad the video doesn't have smell-o-vision. Back to planing. All right, it's good enough. Good enough for me. I mean, it's got a little bit of darkness there, but yeah, I think that'll be just fine. That's a nice looking piece. I like it. Still smells fantastic though. We are a shade under 1.5 inches. So I have to get the old yeah, just a shade under. So I can make the top a little thicker if I want, or it just doesn't have to be a true 1 3/4 inches. I mean, that doesn't really matter. It's not like it's a mandatory rule. Well, let's get a body laid out on this thing and on the bandsaw and see what we have here. I want to get the body center line parallel to the seam, so my grain is running, you know, parallel to the center line along with the body and not like at an angle. It doesn't matter. Probably worrying too much about it, but just for my own peace of mind, I suppose, I'm going to do my best to get that lined up correctly. 27.5 millimeters. Yeah, I said millimeters. Again, not that it matters, but in my brain, it's kind of mattering a little bit. That was my good knee popping. Okay, 20, what did I say? Oh, 27. 27 and, ooh, it's close. 28.5. That is pretty much right there. And let me double check this one. Yeah. All right, so that should be center line the center line. I'm curious to see what happens with this knot down here, but I think we're ready to rock and roll. All right, let's get the old outline traced. This sassafras definitely has some open, deep grain, very much like ash. So it's kind of interesting. All right, now let me get center line drawn here. All right, that looks good. But man, I tell you, I know I keep saying it, but Jesus, thing smells good. I'll get me a root beer. Anyway, all right. I believe I'm ready for the bandsaw. Oh, look at that. It's clear so far. And we're pretty close to the line already, so that's a good sign. Well, took my time. I'm making mistakes. Yeah, there may be, I mean, it's going to be under the top, but there may be some cracks I need to fill with some CA. There's some checking here, but overall, I'm pretty happy with how that's turned out. And no hole in the lower horn. So that's good. Very good. All right, well, next step. We get the top to thickness.